Please don't forget, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. You know it makes sense. Come on, you irons. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time of day it is, wherever you're watching this around the world. Welcome to Falls from Iron. I'm Gazy, your host, and this is another episode of Transfer Talk. So, this kind of ties in with the match that took place yesterday at Molineux in the Premier League, as I recalled this, where we obviously, it's fair to say that it was a disappointing performance, disappointing result obviously, but more primarily I think it's the performance that's got a lot of people questioning certain things. One thing that's been questioned is the fact that, again, it's a question that's a point that's been raised quite often. Michail Antonio being the one and only recognised number 9 at the club creates a dynamic where he knows that if he's fit, if he's not suspended, he will play in the Premier League. Now, that doesn't really create a healthy dynamic, and I think that this is going to be something that's possibly going to be resolved in the next transfer window, fingers crossed. The report in the media today is that we are linked with the Clermont striker Mohammed Bayo. Now, Mohammed Bayo he's an international with Guinea in Africa, and he's already played 5 matches for Guinea and he's got 2 goals. As far as his club team is concerned, he plays in Ligue 1 for Clermont. Now, he's actually got off to a very good start with his club team in Ligue 1, and he's already on the goal trail. Bayo has 7 goals in 12 games for the Ligue 1 side, but it appears that we have a bit of competition because Southampton, Brighton and Brentford are all keen on the player. Now, according to this piece, we had an offer, a bid of £7 million that was turned down a year ago for this player, and it looks like that we may have to increase that because obviously in the interim he's gone on a bit of a goal scoring run, and they reckon that he's now going to be the thick end of £15 million, so just over double what the bid was rejected for him about a year ago. Now, I have to be honest with you, I'm not the font of all knowledge on Ligue 1 football, so I'm probably going to do what most people do and look on online resources like Transfer Market, like YouTube, and get little pieces of footage. As far as that's concerned, the footage I've seen on YouTube, and I appreciate that you can make footage and only get the good parts, and you could look and say that this is a player that looks good on YouTube, but when you actually get him in the Premier League it kind of falls apart. But on the basis of what I've seen, I'm looking at a guy, he's 6'2", he's pretty quick by the looks of things, and I think it's fairly safe to say that we need a quick attacking player because we play a very counter-attacking style of football. It's not really much good if you've got a slow and lumbering centre forward like maybe an Andy Carroll, like maybe an Olivier Giroud, a Chris Wood, a player like that. Don't get me wrong, these are players that do or did do a good job at the role that they play, but it's not really the sort of profile that we need in a striker in the style of football that we're looking to play at the moment. We need a quick forward in the mould of Antonio, but we want to try and get, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think we need to get a forward in that's going to put Antonio onto the substitutes bench. Personally, I'm not a fan of getting players in that are going to be inferior to the person that's got the first team shirt. As far as I'm concerned, it should be someone that's going to push and compete and potentially replace the person that's got the first team shirt, because otherwise I don't really feel that you're bolstering the squad. Really, you're not increasing the quality in the strength depth of the squad. So, you know, and this guy's, like I say, he's 23 years of age, so he's still on the up. He's still on the upward trajectory, and this is the sort of player that we need to be getting in He's strong, he's quick, he's got a poacher's instinct. He can take penalties as well. And, you know, obviously with Mark Noble barely getting a kick, you know, who's going to take penalties? You know, is it going to be Declan Rice? Is it going to be Michail Antonio? Is it going to be A.N. other? Yeah, I mean, it's a, you know, it might seem like that's a sort of very picky thing, but you know, if he can take penalties, that's ticking the box for me. So it looks like we're possibly going to go in for him. The injection of cash that Daniel Kretinsky has brought into the club will play a part in this deal, I feel. So hopefully we can get a forward in there, whether it's Mohammed Bayo or there's another name that's been mentioned as well, which I'll come to in a moment. But just concentrating on Mohammed Bayo for a moment, he looks like the sort of forward that would fit our style of football. The only thing that concerns me is that last month he was brought into police custody, questioned about a hit and run incident. The thing why I say that concerns me is that David Moyes, it seems, is very much picking players on not just on their playing abilities, on their playing profile, but also on their character. And just that statement there that he was arrested for or brought into police custody, whatever, for a hit and run incident, does kind of make me question his character. I don't know the full facts around this particular incident, so it's not for me to say, and there may be things that obviously I'm not aware of, but just that statement there that I read, that he was questioned about a hit and run, you know, makes me sort of question whether this is the sort of character that David Moyes would go for. So I'm not too sure about the validity of the story, but it's out there in the public domain, so I'm guessing it's the old thing, there's no smoke without fire. The other option, though, that possibly could be in January that we look to bring in is a player that's a little bit closer to these shores and a player that's already plying his trade in the Premier League, although very sparingly. Although recently he did get involved in a Premier League game and scored a goal at London Stadium against us. Yes, Divock Origi of Liverpool. Now, Divock Origi, he's not really getting much in the way of game time. He's a player, in my view, I think he's a cracking player. You know, he's in very much, despite the fact that he's not getting much in the way of game time at Liverpool, he's still involved in and around the Belgium squad very regularly. And the Belgium squad is a squad of real quality. So the fact that he's still getting involved, in my view, speaks volumes of what he brings to the table. Now, every time I've seen him play, he's been an impact in the match. He's been an influence in what's gone on the pitch. It's not like he's just been a peripheral figure. And as I say, he scored the goal at London Stadium, so that's testament to that fact. He came off the bench and scored a goal. Obviously didn't affect the match, but he did his job. Now, he's also got European experience. I mean, he scored 2 goals in that memorable semi-final against Barcelona in the second leg, the semi-final, the year they won it, and he also scored in the final against Spurs. So he's got experience of playing in top-level competition in Europe. He's an international player as well, and he's still someone that's quite young, relatively. I think he's 26. So this is a player that, again, still has his best years ahead of him. He's not an injury-prone player. He has Premier League experience. Personally, if it was a side-by-side comparison between Mohammed Bayo and Divock Origi, in my opinion, I think I'd like to go for the tried and tested Premier League player, which is obviously Divock Origi. I know that he's 3 years the senior, but I just think that his experience in playing Premier League football, he's tried and tested in that environment, would probably give him the advantage in my view. Now, Divock Origi is actually out of contract in in the summer, so it means in January, as things stand at the minute, this will be the last opportunity that Liverpool have to get any money for him, unless he obviously signs a contract extension. So this could be our chance to sort of get him through the door. The only concern is that Obviously, Jurgen Klopp is a known admirer of Jarrod Bowen, so the thing that would worry me is if we go to Liverpool and make inquiries about Divock Origi, could it be that they then try and leverage into the deal the fact that they want Jarrod Bowen? Could it be that they try and get Jarrod Bowen going in the opposite direction in some sort of player and maybe involve sort of like cash? I don't know how the deal would be factored in if it was to be done like that. Personally, I think if they were to try and get Jarrod Bowen involved in the deal, for me, I'd probably say walk away and go again in the summer when you'd get him for nothing. But if he's available at a reasonable price, in my view, I think we should absolutely try and pursue it, because, as I say, I don't think that it's a healthy dynamic that we've got at the minute, where we've got a striker at the club that knows his place in the starting 11 is assured, providing he's fit, providing he's not suspended. I just think that that's not something that we really can have in a squad. Every other player knows that their place is up for grabs. The goalkeeper's place is under pressure with, Fabianski's got the jersey at the minute, but he knows that if his performance levels drop, Areola's going to take over. Ben Johnson, he knows that if his performance levels drops, Vladimir Tufal's in. Every place pretty much is, the place is not assured. Saeed Benrahma, if his levels drop, Lanzini can come in. So I think that the fact that Michail Antonio has this thing where he knows that he can just basically say, I'm going to play on Saturday, it doesn't really matter, isn't a healthy dynamic. And I think that's something that showed in the Wolves game. So you've got the two stories there, Mohammed Bayo and Divock Origi. Mohammed Bayo, 23 years of age, currently at Ligue 1 team Clermont. He's a Guinea international, 23 years of age. Or Divock Origi, 26 years of age, Belgian international, currently at Liverpool, Premier League player, European experience, international player for Belgium, and 26 years of age. He's going to be available on a free in the summer, so this could potentially be an opportunity for West Ham to get in there and get a proven Premier League player for a good price that still has his best years ahead of him. So for me, side-by-side comparison, Bayo versus Origi, for me, Origi. But guys, comment sections below. If you disagree with that, then please let me know your reasons. But I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for watching. Stay safe. Only one thing left to say. Come on, you Irons.